And yeah.
So cool. So Iska, um, I'm going to pick up with you. You just finished playing the opera. You did everyone's going to see you. So everyone, after you say your speech about, and you're going to remember me, uh, where do you go? What's next? What's next for Iska?
I think after that speech, she walks off calmly and coolly and collected back to like where the hammock was at. And as soon as she like gets behind like a tree, she like falls to the ground like giddy and shaking and is just like so like ecstatic and everything, but had to like give the performance of like, oh, I'm a cool artist and I'm used to this thing. But she is ecstatic right now. This is all she's ever wanted in her life was to perform beautifully, and perform for people. So she's well on her way to doing that. She gets out that invitation again and just stares at it with this massive smile on her face, and an it's almost obsession, like that she's just looking at this thing and dreaming big. Um, she's heard for a long time since she was young that from her mother that her father was this amazing storyteller, amazing artist, that the reason he couldn't be around in her life is because he had to travel to tell stories, and now she's getting the chance to do it, and thinks this is what her life has been leading to. And for a brief second, actually does feel this connection to her father that she's never really had, because she imagines this is what he feels like when he performs.
So as you do that, I need you to roll a d8.
7. How's my sanity?
Your sanity's fine. Unfortunately, uh, your head feels like it's about to explode. You take 7 points of psychic damage. As you finally, as the adrenaline passes, your head arches back. You look up into the sky. Your jaw drops almost in a scream, and your eyes roll back up into your head. You hear the music from Cleo's song playing in your head, and from Cleo's aria playing in your head, and with certainty, you know your own history is going to catch up with you, and you see a vision of three hounds sniffing around of the entrance to the vault of the pious paladin, and it flashes in front of you, and you see them then fighting some sort of weird fey creature, and then lying there dead, and then reborn as an even more terrifying looking dog, and then they put their noses to the ground and start following a scent on the ground. That flashes away. Another vision crosses your eyes, and you see somewhere, you're not sure where, it's a crowded room with very well dressed people, and everyone starts laughing hysterically and pointing at something, but you can't just figure out what. That goes away, and that was while you were hearing in the background the ballad, and then the opera starts to build in your head, and you hear that music, and hear what it says to you. And someone you know is going to die. And your vision comes back, and you find yourself leaning against the tree, breathing heavily.
I'm shaken. That was literally my highest point in my entire life. And now this is probably my lowest point in my entire life. I went from knowing that I was going to succeed at my lifelong dream to being terrified of what's coming for me, to having this fear that all those people laughing, I don't know what they're laughing at, but what if it is me? And now the idea that someone I care about is going to be hurt, killed, has me totally deflated. Totally broken for a second. As I am completely confused and outrageously exhausted from this gauntlet of emotions I just ran. And confused, terrified, I think I'll put my head in my hands, kind of succumb to that head pain that I'm typically used to, but in this case not, and just tears start rolling down my face.
Axel, she's near the hammock, which is where you've been spending your morning. You witness this in every way that she has described it. The elation of her behind the tree and seeing the joy on her face as she takes out the invitation. And then her head arch back and slam against the tree. And then you see her come out of it shaken and with this most awful expression you've ever seen of someone who's just had their most magical moment stolen from them. And now she's crying, weeping for what she feels she has lost.
Sorry, it's difficult for me. Right. So Axel sort of he's gonna sort of, when she's there, he's gonna give her time. He's gonna be happy for her. His tail's looking back and forth as she's like smiling and really happy for herself, and he's happy for her, of course. He's still sort of a bit dazed from the music. And then he sees the change, and yeah, he's worried. He gets closer. He doesn't say anything until like she comes back and she starts crying, and immediately he's like right in front of her, and he's sort of got her shoulders and says, "Are you okay? What's wrong? What happened? What wrong? Your music?"
It's the hounds. It's the laughter. It's the hound. Is it going to be worth it? I wish I'd never learned that song. And she looks to you and just keeps